Ducks, Berkeley, California, at Cal Memorial Stadium for a Pac-12 After Dark matchup tonight between the Oregon Ducks and the California Golden Bears. Kickoff coming up in just moments. It's the first of 5 games in the Pac-12 this weekend. You see Washington and Washington State still undefeated in conference play. In that North Division, Cal at 1-2, while Oregon winless on the season so far and seeking their first Pac-12 victory tonight. And hello from Berkeley, I'm Alan Bestwick, joined by College Football Hall of Famer, former Oregon head coach Mike Bellotti, uniquely qualified to talk about what in the world is going on here. Here the Ducks, who played for the national championship 2 years ago, come in 0-3 in conference play on their first 4-game losing streak in a decade. How did this happen?
Well, it started with the inability to develop a quarterback from within the system. They've had to rely on graduate transfers the past couple of years. It hasn't worked out very well. The other thing is right now they've had 3 defensive coordinators in 4 years. It's hurt their recruiting evaluation. It's hurt the performance on the field. But finally, maybe the most important thing is, does this team want to win? Do they care anymore? There's a rumor, perception maybe that they don't give as much as effort as they need.
All right, so that's a pretty long list of things. How do they fix it for tonight and for the future?
Well, the first fix is Justin Herbert. He's a true freshman quarterback that they believe can be the spark they need on offense, have him play faster and make some plays. Brady Hoke, a defensive coordinator they trust. He's transitioning to the 4-3 defense. That's going to take some years to recruit. But in watching the team on film, they didn't see a lack of effort. What they saw was a lack of execution, and they believe that can be fixed.
So this is a fan base that's used to its team winning a lot of games. How hot is Mark Helfrich's seat as head coach?
Well, publicly, certainly I think people are talking about this and some of the Johnny-come-latelys. But internally, I think the administration is going to look and see how this season ends. Do the team respond to the challenge of playing hard, competing? And I think he's got enough cachet at this point, in my mind, to be okay.
All right, to compete hard tonight, they're going to have to compete against one of the Pac-12's top offenses and top offenses in the nation, the California Golden Bear offense, led by graduate transfer quarterback Davis Webb.
Davis Webb is a coach's son. He's an unbelievable student of the game. Starts watching film about 8 in the morning. He's got big hands for the quick release, which is necessary for the Bear Raid offense.
So the Bear Raid, headed by the Cal head man, Sonny Dykes. There you see his record. Cal undefeated at home this season, 2-0 here at Memorial Stadium. And so we'll see how things go tonight as they continue to try and keep the O in the loss column at home. We've talked about Mark Helfrich already and his record. So again, played for the national championship just a couple of years ago, but certainly it has been a season of struggle so far for Helfrich and his staff and team on the road tonight here in Berkeley. Oregon won the toss. They will receive the opening kickoff on what is just a splendid Friday night weather-wise here in the Bay Area.
It's an awesome night, and it's interesting that they want the ball, because a lot of times you defer when you're on the road, but they want to get that young quarterback started very quickly.
Lined up on the wrong end, I believe, from what the coin toss outcome was, so they'll switch ends. Haven't seen that one in a long time.
That's a lot of guys. That's 22 guys not figuring it out, too. And the coaches are saying, wait a second, I wanted the other end. Come on.
Our first argument of the night with the officials comes before we even have the opening kickoff. Might be a new track record there. I'm just saying. Well, it's an interesting game because you look at this. These are 2 high-scoring, high-potent offenses, and even with Oregon's struggles this year, still a high-scoring offense against 2 defenses who really have struggled. And those who track such things say we're going to see a lot of points scored in this game tonight.
I actually believe the defense that shows up tonight and gets the most stops is going to be the victor in this game.
So ball in the air, and we are ready to go here at Oregon. Tony Brooks-James with it. And a seam up the sideline, though flags come flying from about 3 different directions.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 17, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Oregon, the most penalized team in yards per game in the Pac-12. And so now that freshman quarterback, Justin Herbert from Eugene, comes onto the field. Kind of a sneaky recruit, if you will, right under their noses. They were one of the few that pursued him to bring him into this Duck team.
Sheldon High School right there in Eugene, multi-sport athlete. His mobility should help this offense, but the key is how he handles the pressure.
The throw on his first play out wide side, reached down and grabbed for a quick catch by Johnny Munt, the tight end. Herbert is 6'6" tall. He's big. And the coaches admit they kind of threw him into a tough situation against Washington for his first start in that last game. One of the country's top teams, as we now know. That's another thing they expect that Herbert will do better than most people believe, is run the ball.
Yeah, it was a baptism under fire against Washington. Tonight, sometimes they say, get the quarterback out, let him get that first hit under his belt so he feels like what it's going to be like, and then just go turn him loose.
I love coaching terms because they both, the offensive coordinator and the head coach, both talked about his athleticism. I said, you mean his ability to run?
Yeah, and make plays and stay alive in the pocket. There's Royce Freeman, I believe, in his first carry
late
tonight.
Flag came in. Very late flag came in on that one.
Personal foul. Illegal hands to the face. Defense number 18. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Oh, went the other way. Marleshon Franklin tagged for the foul for Cal.
Watch right here, right in the center of the field here.
Yeah, right side of the screen.
Really see that
going out of the frame. Yeah, yeah. Franklin got his hands up. So first down for Oregon. Ball out to the 39-yard line. And here comes Tony Brooks-James. And jumped on pretty quickly by James Looney for Cal.
Hoping to hang on.
Herbert with time. Throws in the intended direction of Charles Nelson, but some nice defense there by Darius Allensworth. Just under 46% converting third down for the Ducks. They'll convert this one as the ball thrown to Charles Nelson across midfield. First down, Oregon.
You know what's interesting? Watching him throw, he used to have more foot movement. I think he's taken after Dakota Prukup, who has helped him a lot in this transition for him being the starter.
So they move the chains, and now we'll try and crank the tempo a little bit. Something the Ducks want to do tonight. Get a little bit faster with the offense. There's Brooks-James. Gets the edge. And gets a bunch. Tiptoes the sidelines. He stepped out of bounds inside the 5 at the 2. Finally caught up to and run out there by Marleshon Franklin. Explosive plays, the ones for 20 yards or more. They got one there. Ooh, that one might come back. Might. Is it indisputable video evidence?
Well, you know what? It's hard to tell. Does anything land on that white outside?
The white shoe against the green grass might help some. But let's see. Our referee tonight is Steve Strimling. The replay official is Jim Northcutt from the Pac-12. And games here at Cal do have the ability to go back to the Pac-12 Command Center as part of a collaborative replay process.
That's way back at the first down marker, which is quite a ways. So this could be a huge loss.
After review, it's been determined the runner stepped out of bounds at the 37-yard line. It will be first and 10 at that point. Please reset the game clock to 13 minutes and 2 seconds.
The Cal defense last in the Pac-12 and one of the last in the nation against the run. Freeman got nothing before he was dropped by Devontae Wilson. I mentioned some of the numbers on the Cal defense rather. There it is. The Oregon offense versus the Cal defense. There are 128 teams in FBS football.
You're right, and it's strength versus weakness. Well, Oregon last time rushed for over 300 yards against Cal. Obviously, they want to keep the ball on the ground tonight.
Nothing for Freeman. Herbert will throw. It will be over the top of intended receiver Evan Bayless and incomplete. Give it to Freeman. See if he can get the edge. He'll get nothing. Nicely contained on the far side by Darius Allensworth.
Obviously wanted to take the pressure off of the young quarterback, but I'm not sure that this run or this choice by Freeman to take it outside, they were hoping to get it right up the middle like a draw play. Instead, great play on the outside, the tackle, and really a loss there.
Vic Wharton will be back deep for the Cal offense. Wheeler's kick a little too far, and Cal's offense will come onto the field.
Well, he tried to be a great teammate. He's done this before. He transferred previously, but he's a student of the game, a coach's son. Comes in and starts watching film about 8 in the morning. He's got big hands, which allows him to do the quick release stuff they love in this offense. He's accurate. He understands offense, and he more importantly understands defense.
Hurt his thumb in their last game against Oregon State. Says he's good to go. When we met with him yesterday, he'll be without one of his top receivers, actually his top receiver tonight. More on that in a minute. First pass complete, far side. also injured late in that Oregon State game, and Hansen on the sidelines tonight. He sprained his ankle. He did not warm up. He'll not play.
That's a big loss for the Cal Bear raid defense. Offense, excuse me.
That dumps it inside. Kalfani Mohammed's got some room. Nice game, but a flag is down in the offensive backfield.
Holding. Offense number 64. 10-yard penalty. Replay the down.
Webb with time. Throws and a little out in front of the intended receiver on the far side. Dumps it off to Muhammad. Pursued and slowed up initially by Daquan McDowell, and A.J. Hotchkiss finished him off. One of the Ray Guy Award candidates. Third best average in the Pac-12 at this point in the season. Carrington drops it. Ball on the ground. A Cal player had a chance to get it, but I don't know that he did. Kolana Apelu, 39, looks like he's got his arms around the ball. A Cal player had a chance to get it when it bounced off of Carrington, but didn't manage to wrap it up under the bottom of the pile. A Friday night fight in the Pac-12 between a couple of teams who really could use a win. Oregon and Cal scoreless here in this first quarter. Oregon gets the ball for its second possession after the fumble on the punt return. Justin Herbert hands off to Royce Freeman. One of the top rushers in the country has been bottled up so far. No gain on that first down. So Herbert in for his second start. Dakota Prukop, the graduate transfer who came over and started the first 5 games of this season, now finds himself in a supporting role.
His statistics are very good. They just didn't have the spark. They didn't quite win, and they just tried really to change to get Herbert in there and see what it would do.
And again, nothing there for Royce Freeman. The coaches talked about needing a spark. How do you get a spark by changing the quarterback?
Well, there were 2 things. Dakota missed a couple of throws in games that might have made a big difference. He also never achieved the type of tempo the offensive coaches wanted. They felt they could get that with Justin Herbert.
They've got a third down here after 2 unsuccessful running plays. Herbert will throw downfield. Receiver had a step. Did Nelson pull that in? No, it hit the ground.
Nelson is the most explosive player and most dangerous weapon that Oregon has. The problem is he has limited range. He's not very tall, about 5'8". See him go up. I'd say that probably was interference right there. They're very fortunate, the Cal Bears, that there was not an interference penalty call.
Wharton signals fair catch and makes it at the 28-yard line. That's where the Bears offense will take over. Chris Budden is down on the field for us tonight. She's on the Oregon sideline right now. Hi, Chris.
Hi. Well, you talked about the 4-game losing streak for Oregon, and their frustrations reached a tipping point 2 weeks ago when Cameron Hunt, the offensive lineman for Oregon, called out his team after the loss to Washington, saying 30 to 40% of their teammates didn't care if they win or lose. Well, so Mark Helfrich held an entire team meeting for everyone to air out their frustrations. He said no one really took that seriously because they knew it was about emotion. He says he likes where his team is at right now. Said a lot of great talking. We just have to do some doing now.
Oregon player down on the first down carry by Trey Watson. Injury timeout here. So, Mike, you've been through some of these. There's Cam Hunt on the bench. You've been through some of these situations before. You've had a 5-game losing streak with the Ducks in your second season at Oregon. Getting the team together, meeting and so on. What's that going to accomplish?
Well, hopefully what you do, and I met first individually with every player on the team and found out who they were and what they thought about this program, what their role was. And then that didn't work. We lost the game after that, and then I met with everybody again, and we did what I call unity meetings. We tried to get everybody going in the same direction, respecting everybody's involvement. 3 wins and then 5 straight losses, and finished with 3 straight wins to be bowl eligible. But I think it was a turning point in my career because I realized that no matter how much talent you have to have players who like each other, respect each other, and will go to war for each other.
That was 1996, as you see the injured Oregon player being helped off the field, Drayton Carlberg, the redshirt freshman from Minneapolis. So you had another similar situation a decade later in 2006 where you had a little losing streak and had to get the team sorted out again.
Yeah, talking about all my losing streaks, I love this. I mean,
I know.
No, I'll tell you what, though.
It all worked out.
We had a very poor bowl game, and I'll tell you about what we did to that after this play.
And Watson will get another carry and get some yards up the middle. Nice gain. Gets about 6 on that one. So 2006.
We had a bowl game loss to BYU in the Las Vegas Bowl that I couldn't stomach. I finally said we got to do something. I kidnapped the team, planned an intervention where we wrote all the things we liked about the program up the wall, all the things we didn't like, and then the solutions to the things that we did not like. At the end of that meeting, we burned all the things we didn't like because we believed in the solutions. From that meeting came the motto or slogan, win the day. We went on to win 9 games the next year, 10 games a year after that, and compete down the road for the national championship.
Really nice fight for the first down there by Melquise Stovall to move the chains for Cal. Set him up at the 40-yard line. And Watson will rumble along. So you kidnapped the team. Basically, you took them to a camp and away from campus for the weekend. Just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
And so the outcome was
basically positive. I felt like the coaches and the team, everybody got to say their piece. Everybody was equal in that meeting. And I think a lot of players didn't believe that was really going to happen, but we treated everybody equally, and they had their say and got their word in.
So that's the challenge that Mark Helfrich has faced with the bye week after the disappointing crushing by Washington. And they think that they've solved a lot of things for this team. Their opportunity to prove it is 60 minutes on the field tonight. Davis Webb drops it off. Popped in the backfield was Jordan Vesey. Nice defensive play by Daquan McDowell, who got the start tonight, 54 for the Ducks.
One of the things on both sides of the ball for both of these teams is to simplify. When you get people hurt and you have to play younger players with less experience, simplify what you do so they can play fast, get their eyes right, be in the right place.
Another third down here for Cal.
See, the safety's really deep for Oregon, rotating over to the 3-receiver side.
So they'll give it to Watson. He'll have the first down and a bunch. Good open field tackle by Brendan Schooler, the freshman safety, but Watson moves the chains for the Golden Bears. Going for it down the sideline. A lot of hand fighting going on. No flag comes in.
Trickeration going on in the backfield there to take away from the fact it's just a one-on-one route down the field trying to get it, and I think Amadi did a nice job of fighting off the receiver, beginning his head back to look for the ball.
He also had a handful of jersey, though. Don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, I did see it, but obviously
the official didn't.
Yes.
Malik McMorris was in, perhaps as a decoy, as a tight end. Ball loose, out of bounds, but after the reception was made by Brandon Singleton. Muhammad will have it. Slices his way for the first down. Kalfoni Muhammad, the senior from Englewood, who had just a spectacular game last time out at Oregon State.
Here's a tap.
Empty backfield. Webb throws to a wide open receiver in the middle of the field. Jordan Vesey just couldn't keep his feet. They'll quickly throw it outside. Vesey again spins away. Flag comes in. We wait for the signal. They have not signaled touchdown yet.
It goes so fast. One of the things
Holding.
is
Offense number 8. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
react to the speed of the play. See on the outside right there, and blocking the back and sort of a tackle, and unfortunately the official was right there to call it.
So instead of putting 6 points on the scoreboard, they back the Golden Bears up to the 15-yard line, and it's first and goal from there. Watson back in the game. Looking for some running room. Nothing doing on that far side. Austin Malawata. Watson again, up the gut. Still going, dropped at the 10-yard line after a 6-yard gain by A.J. Hotchkiss. Would be Elijah George, who has to come out of the game for Oregon.
And that was great pad level by the Cal offensive line and very poor pad level interior-wise for the Ducks.
Webb throws the fade. Touchdown! Raymond Hudson with the Cal Bears score. Is that Hudson or Robertson?
I think that's Robertson.
That's Robertson.
Nice.
I thought it was 11. My
Perfectly
apologies.
thrown ball, and Robertson has the speed to separate from the DB, even though it's a very short distance there. Great throwing ball in terms of right into the corner.
Matt Anderson's point after is good. Can you believe what a beautiful sunset? That's looking from Cal Memorial Stadium back out across Berkeley and across San Francisco Bay. Just a spectacular sight for a football Friday night. Perhaps you're out and about on this Friday watching us. Short kick will be fair caught, and Oregon will take over at its 27-yard line. So Oregon now needs to answer Justin Herbert throws, complete to the far side, Charles Nelson, but he is quickly wrapped up and dropped, so give him about 5 with forward progress. Herbert throws again, near side, that is off the fingertips of Pharaoh Brown, who just couldn't pull it in, and it's 3rd down for the Ducks. He'll run, and he'll make the line to gain.
Widen the defense out, too, for that play.
So after the 1st down, they try and crank the tempo. Here comes Freeman. Fighting forward, and a nice gain, his best of the night so far for Royce Freeman.
He's been hampered since the Nebraska game, as you said. He looks a step slow to me tonight.
This is Tony Brooks-James in now. Fighting forward, very close to the line to gain, but they're going to mark him about a yard short.
So that they could be with Mark Helfrich in 4-down territory here.
Taj Griffin into the game with the ball for the Ducks. He'll have the 1st down and more. Flags come in. I think this one's going to come back.
Holding. Offense number 66. 10-yard penalty. Replay. 3rd down.
It's Brady Aiello, the left tackle.
Watch him right here. He's right in there, left tackle spot. As soon as he comes out, he's standing up. He comes around the tight end on the pull. And then just looks like he may have tackled the guy in space.
That would be how I would describe it, yes. So now 3rd and 11. Herbert under pressure. Down he goes. Flags come in.
Holding. Offense number 78. Penalties decline. Result of the play, 4th down.
Ian Wheeler kicks one. Wharton signals fair catch. Makes it at his own 23-yard line. Cal with a 7-0 lead. And the ball. Their offense. And Davis Webb coming back onto the field in Columbus.
Pretty successful. When he went to Florida, he came to Oregon and copied our recruitment center. It worked pretty well for him there.
So Cal with the ball. Davis Webb with a rare run. And he's knocked to the ground. Oregon showing a little pressure. Now they back off. Alfani Muhammad. Good rushing yardage. Jelks again wrestles him to the ground. There's Muhammad again. Across midfield before he's brought down by the safety, Brendan Schooler. Almost dropped that exchange, but he's got a lot of room. Again, it was the safety, Schooler, who clipped the feet of Alfani Muhammad, but another giant run for Cal.
When you look at this box count, there's only 5 people in box for the Ducks. They're going to run the football until that's changed.
I just keep handing it to 29 the way they're going.
Well, you're right. And both from a standpoint, it is working. It's working because of the Ducks alignment.
And hand it off again. Inside the 5-yard line, and Alfani Muhammad has been the star of this drive, plus that offensive line for the Bears.
And it's not a question of box count, it's a question of getting blocked up front. The Cal offensive line is doing a great job. 18th in the FBS, and they've already given up 118 tonight. So the reality is they're not doing a very good job, and Cal is controlling the tempo of the game with both their pace and the fact that they can run the ball so effectively.
Webb will pull it and throw to the end zone, and a touchdown for Cal. This one goes to Hudson. Straight down the middle.
Yeah, he breaks out this long run. Watching, great job there of cutting back. Almost didn't get the handoff, as you said, but then turned it on. Shoestring tackle out in the open field, but he still gets yards after contact. Then watch down here on the touchdown. Watch this young man right here. Sort of hides in there. Watch the play fake going this way. Takes everybody with him. He goes back across the grain. Difficult to cover. Great catch and a great throw where only his guy could get it by Davis Webb.
And a pooch kick. Fair catch signaled for and made. And Oregon will take over at its 26-yard line. Late penalty flag just came sailing in. 2 of them, as a matter of fact.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Receiving team number 32. 15-yard penalty. 1st and 10.
You can't have those things anytime, especially when you're trailing by 2 touchdowns. So for this Oregon offense now, 3 possessions, 3 punts. Well, they had a couple of times where the ball was in the end zone and came back for penalties.
Right. They've got to sustain a drive and not be their own worst enemy. Keep the ball in bounds. And obviously, we talked to Matt Lubick earlier in the year. He talked about penalties, how they derail the opportunity to score on a drive. And right now the Ducks have been their own worst enemy.
Let me correct myself. One came all the way back out of the end zone for a penalty. One for being out of bounds. Penalty flag comes in again as Taj Griffin got some yards around the left end.
Personal foul, tripping. Offense number 78. Half the distance to the goal. Replay first down.
Another one for Cam Hunt.
Cam Hunt is a guy that competes very hard. May not be the greatest athlete, but he's tough. But he's got a holding penalty and a tripping penalty. Take a look here and see. Watch the right guard. See what happens on this play. Sort of a
swung that leg around.
Yeah, a little leg whip.
Yeah. So Herbert's going to throw just a little far out in front of Charles Nelson, who had a step and some space. Chris.
Alan, after Oregon's last possession, Justin Herbert, the first person he went up to talk to was Dakota Prukop. They had a long conversation about what he was seeing. This is something they're working on with Justin, trying to get him to be more vocal. They want him to say something after every play.
Herbert 3 of 8 throwing in the game so far for 17 yards. Hit this one to Johnny Munt, the tight end, for a short game. Just get him back to the original line of scrimmage. First game of the weekend in the Pac-12 tonight here in Berkeley, and a look at what's at stake for both teams. Cal trying to find that path through to bowl eligibility, standing at 3-3 and 1-2 in the conference. Oregon looking for its first conference win of the season. Down by 2 touchdowns as we start the second quarter. Justin Herbert throws to a receiver downfield, and it was over the top of Jaylen Brown and incomplete. He had a step on Darius Allensworth.
One of the things about Justin Herbert, all of his throws have been long tonight. He's too excited. He's too amped up. He's too hyped up. He's taking a lot of this on his own shoulders. He's got to relax and just pass the ball, not try to throw the ball down the field.
Allensworth limping off on the far side. So the punt team back on again for a 4th consecutive possession. McWhorton back at about his own 46-yard line. Fair catch signaled and made at the 49. Excellent field position to start their next possession for the Cal offense. Davis Webb, the Cal quarterback, 8 of 10 tonight, 55 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He'll go to Trey Watson with the handoff, and Watson will have good yardage on first down. The run game very effective for the Golden Bears. So an Oregon player down. That's Austin Malawata. So injury timeout on the field here at Cal as the Oregon medical staff. Of course, our ESPN coverage begins on Wednesday night for the new season. Malawata walked off the field, being evaluated there. You saw the pass from Davis Webb out to the outside to Stovall. Trey Watson is the running back. And a first down to Stovall, who's across the 40 down to the 38-yard line. And right now is the top 2 in their depth chart at one of those defensive tackle positions, have both gone out injured in this game. So Webb throws, and that completion, that's Robertson. Here comes Watson. Very nicely pursued to the outside by Jimmy Swain, 18. Watson. He's going to have
every single play. They're so worried about getting beat deep. They're committing 2 deep safeties. When you're 2 deep safeties, you're light in the box. You can't cover everybody out there and also support the run.
Another one of those second and shorts that gives Cal a lot of options. Tell you the other thing that's going on here too. As Watson has the grab and has the first down and still hasn't been knocked down. Trey Watson. Here's the other thing that's going on is Cal's offense, even though it's supposed to be a quick strike offense, they have been on the field for a long time. And yards numbers 49 for Oregon. There's Kalfani Muhammad. Going to run into a pile of players. Nothing much doing there for Cal. And it'll set up second down. Oregon, through that first quarter, had about as many penalty yards as they had yards of total offense.
They're one of the most penalized teams in the nation, and we've talked about how that's hurt them over the course of the season.
Now look at the total yards, penalty yards.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, and certainly they've been self-inflicted wounds with a lot of holding penalties that brought back a couple of fairly big plays.
So when we talk with Mark Helfrich and Brady Hogue about this Oregon team, One of the things that was mentioned was, being thin on defense on an offensive team, on a team whose offense plays at tempo and is trying to get off the field as quick as they can.
Well, this is a great example. When you play tempo and don't get first downs, your defense is stuck on the field, and their defense is tired right now. They're not focused, and they're giving up easy plays.
Vic Morton with the third Cal touchdown of the game. And the point after by Matt Anderson is good.
Brady Hoke talked about the need for communication. Here's an example of the lack thereof. You see two guys right here. They're trying to let one guy go. One guy's got to commit. They've got to declare. They've got to communicate better. And finally, execute.
College Football Hall of Famer, former Oregon head coach Mike Bellotti. We're not seeing the kind of response that I think Mark Helfrich wanted to see from his team after that Washington game in the bye week.
No, Oregon is being outcoached and outplayed right now. They can't get their own way on offense because of penalties, lack of production on third down, and then defensively they're in disarray. They cannot stop the run. They can't stop the flat receiver, and really they aren't communicating the way that Brady Hoke and Mark Helfrich have talked about. They need to communicate to enable them to play faster, to recognize situations. I don't see effort. I don't see execution.
No, minus those two, you're going to have a problem. And that problem's probably going to be sizable. Another pooch kick. And another fair catch signal. Here is the drive chart for the Duck offense, which is not a pretty one.
No, and we talked tonight about the defense that gets the most stops is going to win this game. And right now it's the Cal defense.
Justin Herbert, hands off, far side, nothing doing for Taj Griffin.
Penalties, but watch out because they can come back, but they need to come back and support that defense. Actually, they need to put a drive together to let the defense rest a little bit.
Stay on the field, yeah. Herbert throws, got a receiver, got a first down. Darren Carrington all the way out to midfield, and that might just be a little spark that this Duck offense needs, maybe a little confidence for the young quarterback.
Absolutely. I think Justin Herbert getting a big conversion right there, finding his best receiver, Darren Carrington, down the field. Hopefully that settles him down a little bit.
Ducks crank up the tempo. Tony Brooks-James looked for a little running yardage. Give him about 5. Nice gain on first down for Oregon before Cameron Walker knocks him down.
Tony Brooks-James, though, is more of a speedster. He runs a little bit upright for me through the middle line of scrimmage, but he's a guy that can take it all away if he finds a crease.
Herbert will throw again. Dumps it off. It is caught. That is Pharaoh Brown, the big tight end, who'll rumble down inside. Luke Rubenzer knocks him down. Pharaoh Brown with a catch and run. And they move the sticks for Oregon down to the 25-yard line.
He is a big man, and I would have characterized it the same way. That was rumbling down that sideline.
Herbert with time, swings it out wide. Brooks-James nicely played in the open field. Cameron Walker with an excellent defensive play. And they made a wholesale change on defense. I think that was about 10 guys that came on, if not all 11. Herbert throws. Caught! Fighting for the end zone! Touchdown, Oregon! Pharaoh Brown!
Well, that's going to be really close. I think he got it.
I give him a touchdown there.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think the knee was down. I think the ball had crossed the plane. They may take a look, but as we talked about, Oregon has the capability of scoring very quickly on offense, and maybe that drive is going to help them. But certainly, if nothing else, their defense could take a little bit of a breather.
And it's a 2-touchdown deficit.
Alabama's a huge favorite, but I think A&M, I don't like them to win, but I think A&M has a chance to keep that game very close.
Here's Kalfani Muhammad. Beautiful kick return for Cal all the way out to the 35-yard line. And let's check downstairs with Chris.
Alan, Oregon's defense, clearly frustrated. Frankly, some of it I can't even repeat. But Tyree Robinson, the defensive back, came over. He said, if you're not going to play hard, you need to sit down. Brady Hoke came over, tried to spin that frustration into a positive. And that's something this coaching staff has told this team. If you're frustrated, go air it out on the field.
Well, Chris, here's the big challenge for the Oregon defense. Can they get a stop? Their offense just got some points. Can the defense get off the field and give the offense a chance to close things a little later? That was close.
The ball very quickly. For example, look at the slot receiver to the field. There's nobody within 10 yards of him. I just throw him the ball right now.
Guy in the far outside the far hash mark. Now they're going to give it to California Muhammad instead. He'll be dropped and wrapped up. Henry Mondu gets his number called for the first time tonight. One of the defensive leaders for the Oregon Duck front, 92. Can the Ducks get off the field on third down? They've not succeeded at it tonight except for once. Webb with all kinds of time throws in behind the intended receiver.
Oregon trying to mount a four-man pass rush, not getting there. Davis Webb floating in the pocket, actually throws this ball behind. Could have been intercepted. That might have been the break that the Ducks were looking for. 11 out of 13 on the season.
Got a receiver and got a first down and more. The time Webb has. Throws far side to Stovall. He'll have 8 or so on first down.
Here's what we're talking about. Just take a look right there. That's 9 or 10 yards.
Hand it off inside instead. That was Muhammad. Well, we talked about the defense a lot. There's where they stand out of 128 teams in FBS football in those categories.
I'm not sure what to say other than the only way to go is up.
And they, you know, when you talk to the coaches, when we talk to Mark Helfrich and Brady Hoke, they understand what they're up against and what the plan is for making it turn up. The question is keeping everybody calm and patient and getting results while you're turning it up, because you still got to win games.
Hopefully win some games, you get a chance, because it's going to take a couple years of recruiting classes to fix this.
Webb throws over the top of Stovall and incomplete. So let's talk about what they felt like they had to do. Well, first thing, in changing from the 3-4 to the 4-3, that instantly leaves you with a depth problem of the big fellas up front.
The big guys up front. You play a 4-3, you need 8 to 10 guys that are in the 260 to 320 range that are just tough and can take on double teams, etc. They don't have that. They were in a 3-4, but you still, it's about defense, and you still can have certain things that you don't do, like you got to learn how to play the option.
On fourth down, Trey Watson finally chased down by Jalen Jelks, but a big gain on fourth and short for Cal, and they continue to march down the field. That is Wharton with the grab for no gain. Interesting situation a moment ago. Wharton, who is from Spring Hill, Tennessee, in the Nashville area, was out there being covered by Ugo Amadi, who's from Nashville. A couple of guys that knew each other from high school ball, facing off out in the Pac-12.
Come all the way out here to play against each other again.
Near side, wide open. Raymond Hudson. Box count. I used to do that when I worked at a grocery store when I was in high school.
Well, that's a box count. That means you should be throwing the ball, I just tell you.
And the play clock ran out while Davis Webb was making his checks and adjustments.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
People are lined up on all these guys spread out outside.
Yes, as we look, I would call that a 5-man box count right now, because the other guy's way outside the tackle trying to get down there. See him sneaking in at the last minute? That's what you try to do. Change the box count late.
And they need a bunch. Almost a circus catch. Almost.
Wow. This ball is thrown very well and caught like an Odell Beckham Jr. type catch. Oh my gosh. And he's just barely, as you talked about, out of bounds. That's a tremendous catch.
Best in the country. Made 25 of his last 27 over last season and this season, and add another one to it. And the redshirt junior from Danville, California, expands the Cal lead. Noah Beto's kick, and again they'll kick short, force the Oregon fair catch. Ducks will start at their own 28-yard line. So here's the Oregon offense. Finally got on the scoreboard in their last possession. They try it again with the freshman quarterback Justin Herbert. With time and a throw. Trying to adjust back for the ball, Darren Carrington, and flags will come in from 3 different directions.
Callan, man-to-man
Pass
defense on
interference.
first down.
Defense number 20, 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Here's the penalties. You can see the reach and the grab and not playing the ball. And Justin Herbert gets rid of this ball, but he takes a shot right to the chest, right to the sternum. It's tough on a young man. They didn't hit him that way at Sheldon High School.
Little hello from the 5th-year senior Devontae Wilson from Cal. So bring the ball out to the 44-yard line. And a first down for the Ducks. This will be Taj Griffin. He'll get across midfield. Nice gain on first down to the 49-yard line. Haven't seen Royce Freeman in a while. Freeman has been banged up. We saw him earlier in the game. Fairly ineffective. And so now Griffin and Tony Brooks-James doing a lot of the load carrying for Oregon. And the passing arm of Justin Herbert. In and through the hands of Johnny Munt, the tight end, the intended receiver, Kahari Vanderbilt, on defense for Cal.
You know, a lot of people think Oregon is just built on these wide receivers, but Pharaoh Brown, Evan Bayless, Johnny Munt, Jacob Blitz, they've got some great tight ends that can catch and block at the line of scrimmage. So use them tonight because they're typically matched up on safeties.
Third down. Very slow developing play that gets little to nothing for Oregon. Brooks-James stutter steps sideways and gets across the line to gain before he hits the deck. The drive continues for Oregon, and a Cal player down on the far side of the field. So after going for it on 4th down, the Oregon drive continues just inside the 45-yard line of Cal. Herbert throws. Little too tall for Darren Carrington and incomplete.
One of the most difficult throws for a young quarterback is that throw 15 to 25 yards down the field. It has to turn over. You can't throw it too high. You've got to have it turn over just over the linebackers, but get down. And that ball probably should have been caught. Darren Carrington is the best receiver for Oregon on the field. He's got to make that play to support the young quarterback.
So he'll step out for a breather on 2nd and 10. This is Brooks-James with running room. Still going and all the way down inside the 5-yard line before he's finally dragged out of bounds by Kahari Vanderbilt. 43 yards on that one. 1st and goal for the Ducks. Brooks-James pounding toward the goal line. No signal yet. No arms in the air.
The problem for the Ducks down here is that Brooks-James only weighs about 185 pounds. He's not the type of guy that you want running low inside. You'd hope that Royce Freeman would be able to come back in and carry the load at this point.
Hey, Coach, there's a lot of blue players waving like they got the ball down there. I didn't see it come out.
On the field as the runner was down in possession of the football short of the goal line. 2nd down.
And Mark Helfrich is out on the field at the numbers at the 20-yard line, calling timeout for Oregon. Let's see.
Well, that's pretty close. We're not going to see it from that angle. This is probably better. There's the ball. His knee's not down yet.
Ooh, and that ball's bouncing. That ball might have bounced in there, Mike.
Yeah.
Let's see. Watch underneath the knees here. Hand down. Reaching for it. I can't tell. And it's got to be indisputable video evidence. So we go with the 2nd down and goal play. Brooks-James, touchdown Ducks, no question this time. Tony Brooks-James with the big 43-yard run and then finishes it off into the end zone. And Oregon now looking to get it back to within 10 with the point after try. Aiden Schneider will kick out of Taylor Ali's hold. Got it through. Yard run was definitely the key play on that drive.
And watch the way he sets this up. He bounces outside, gets a great block, and then just turns on the jets. Tiptoes the sidelines, Finally gets pulled down just inside the 3-yard line. Here he is on the touchdown. This is the second opportunity down here. Great play, great blocking.
Nice.
And Cal really ran themselves out of that play, trying to stop the zone read on the outside.
Coming up on 3 minutes to go in this first half. It's Muhammad from the 7. All the way out to the 24-yard line before he's dropped.
You told me and I forgot.
Vern Lundquist.
Oh, that's cool. That is neat.
One of the greats of our business. Of course, in his final season calling the SEC for CBS. And Vern's going to make the picks tomorrow, and I think that'll be just a lot of fun.
You know, the problem for Myles Garrett is he's a great pass rusher. He's not going to get to run after the quarterback as much. He's going to have to stop the run first against Alabama. You know, with this 2:44 left, there's enough time for both of these offenses to score the way they play.
Webb with time, throws, far sideline. Was he inbounds? Incomplete. And Webb's going to keep it. I'll tell you, that was his 22nd carry of the season. Remember, every time you get sacked, you're credited for carrying the ball.
But that's what I was asking about, how many times he's really run the ball to run it as opposed to gotten sacked.
There's the flag of the referee.
Tyree Robinson is a
Number 2, 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
He's a big corner. He's 6'4", over 200 pounds. Was a safety. Watch him right here. Let's just see how this goes. Because he has makeup speed. He's got long arms. But this is just a foot race down the field. And he thinks he's beat a little bit. Probably didn't need to do that because the ball wouldn't have been caught.
Cal. Webb just a little bit over the top of Jordan Vesey as he was under pressure. Can the Ducks defense step up and shut down Cal's offense and get off the field? Webb throws to a wide open Trey Watson, but a flag comes in.
Number 5 has to remain out for 1 down. His helmet came off through play. During the play, personal foul, legal hands to the face, defense number 90. That penalty will be assessed 15 yards from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Okay, right here. I think it's this man right here lined up over the left guard. Let's take a look and see how this happens. You see he's going in there and pushing, trying to go hard, and that hand got up into the face. Not a lot, but just enough to draw the notice of the officials.
So a quick 30 yards of penalties moves the ball down the field for Cal to the 24-yard line. Here's Khalfani Muhammad. A nice job of stacking things up. Dump it off, coming back through. Vic Wharton looking for some help. Making a lot of it happen himself. Long ways across the field and very close to the first down marker. Throwing. Out of bounds, incomplete. And an Oregon defender is all the way up against the wall of the stadium and still down after going out of bounds.
Take a look here and see it at the end of the play. Well thrown ball. I think that's a touchdown. I can't tell. The official right there, though, ruled him out, or maybe he held the ball all the way in contact with the ground. It looked as if his foot was in. Let's take a look from this angle. Oh, his heel might have caught that.
When he's spinning around in front of this side judge, who's right there, was he firmly in control of the ball, or was he still trying to pull it in? I guess that would be the trick.
Let's take a look. I think he's got control of the ball. I think there's no question about that.
Just that when that ball comes up off of his body right there, see? That's what I think would possibly give the side judge a reason to say, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, if they continue it, as they're looking at it, watch it come away from his body ever so slightly. And was that enough to give the official a reason to question his control of the ball?
I don't see at this point, if they let it go, I don't see any lack of control. I think he may have thought that the heel landed out of bounds because he has the best angle to see that better than we do.
And by the way, Khalil Oliver was the Duck that was over on the far side. He has walked to the Oregon bench. And the call stands, so incomplete. And a fourth down. Webb hands off. Muhammad hit, but pushes forward.
Coaches will tell you this is an important game because they're both as healthy as they're going to be right now for this bye week for the remainder of the season.
14-yard line for Davis Webb and the Bear Raid. He's going to throw to a wide open running back out of the backfield, and Trey Watson will walk into the end zone.
Okay, Trey Watson right here is going to run out here, do this. They're going to take the quarterback, come over here, and takes all the defense with him. As we watch this play, great execution. You see the play fake there. Davis Webb rolls out, receiver clears that area, and then a nicely thrown ball over the top. Don't lead him too much, just make sure he catches it, get in the end zone.
They continue to do the pooch kick.
Just a little longer than they wanted there. Going to get return here with Coach James.
He'll be met and dropped at the 38-yard line. 11 seconds to go for Oregon. Herbert will hand off to Taj Griffin, who will run for the sideline and get out of bounds. Last play of the first half. Justin Herbert to throw. Whistles have stopped things. What have we? The Cal timeout.
Prior to the snap, timeout, Cal. Please reset the game clock to 3 seconds.
Herbert's going to make some time for his receivers to get deep. Going to throw it. Knocked down. College Football Hall of Famer Coach Mike Bellotti, former Oregon head coach for 14 seasons. Let's start with the Ducks, looking for that first conference win. Still talked about things that you wanted to see in the first half from them. What did you see in the first half from them?
I can't judge the effort. That's something I have to watch on film, but I can say there's not the execution on defense that Mark Helfrich hoped for after a bye week. Justin Herbert seemed a little nervous and overhyped in that first quarter. Took him a while to settle down. They got going, but the bottom line is the Cal defense has done a better job of stopping the Oregon offense than the Oregon defense has been able to stop Cal.
And on the other side of the ball, Davis Webb and the Bear Raid offense for Coach Sonny Dykes and Cal, they've pretty much done what they wanted to, all except for one possession.
Very comfortable throwing the ball, 4 touchdown passes, and Davis Webb's even carried the ball a couple times in crucial situations, which I was a little bit surprised at, but that's probably a wrinkle they put in over the bye week.
Cal gets the ball to start the second half. It will be down in the end zone, and we check down on the field with Chris Button.
Allen, 31 points isn't enough. We need to continue to score touchdowns. That was the message Sonny Dykes relayed to me in his discussions after halftime. You talked about Davis Webb running the ball more. He says he just likes what he sees from that on the short yardage situations. Defensively, he said, we got a lot of pressure on Justin Herbert in the first quarter. I want to see more of that in the second half and continue to make tackles.
All right, Chris, so there is Davis Webb and his numbers throwing the ball from the first half. He also did carry it twice for 12 yards, including on a key 4th down conversion. Marquise Stovall, and a great start to this third quarter for the Cal offense.
The other thing that impressed me about the Cal offense in the first half was they rushed for over 170 yards and threw for about 150. So they are truly having that balanced attack that Sonny Dykes talked about.
Drayton Carlberg just limped off the field for the Ducks. He'd gone out of the game injured earlier, had come back in, now just limped off again. Kalfoni Muhammad won't get much with his first carry from offense in this third quarter. They need at least 3 and have to score on all 3 of those stops just to get even. They're 3 possessions behind in this one. They've not been afraid to go for it on 4th down tonight either. Muhammad will be right at the marker. Depend on the stop.
Very good this year, as we talked about, on 4th down.
Evades a couple and gets across midfield to keep the drive going. Talk about that leverage concept in a minute. Davis Webb throws, coming back for the ball. In coaching terms, leverage means,
well, where you are in relationship to the ball. And when you have 2 guys running free, they probably took the defensive end and went down inside, the backer scraping to the outside. One should be on the inside shoulder running back, the other on the outside shoulder, so there's nowhere for him to go. When 2 guys go to the inside shoulder, he gets the outside edge and is gone.
And part of what you can use for your leverage is the sideline.
Correct.
Angles and how to get there, where you need to be, and cut off the forward attack. There's another forward attack for Trey Watson. We discussed with both Mark Helfrich and Brady Hoke something that stood out as being fairly poor from the Washington game, as Webb has all kinds of time. Coming back to the ball. And a nice catch was Brandon Singleton, and he'll move the chains for Cal. One of the things that the Oregon defensive people talked about with their tackling problems was leverage was one of the words they used, and another was communication, that they just weren't lining up properly and communicating to execute the defensive call.
Exactly. Getting lined up soon enough to be able to see the blocking pattern emerge and defeat that, or get your eyes and your feet in the right place.
Get it up. Morris around to the other side. Watson as well. And here comes Watson. Grinding for a few inside, and it will be 3rd down and 2. Quarterback and leading receiver. Webb banged up early in that game. Hansen banged up late in it. Webb has played tonight. Hansen has not. He's been on the sidelines all night. Trey Watson's headed down to the 5-yard line. But as the younger receivers have gotten more time and more experience, and frankly learned how to run more precise routes where they're supposed to be in this Bear Raid offense, they get Webb's confidence more and more. There's one through the hands of Vic Wharton, incomplete, and it sets up 2nd down.
Ball back, get a chance to score.
There's a different formation for the Bear Raid. Everybody in tight and pressure. Webb gets it away out of bounds before he is dropped to the turf.
Webb under pressure that time. We talked about the play action fake. He's going to come back. Free rusher off that back edge, pressures him, takes him to the ground. Not too badly though. No penalty there because he didn't finish that tackle.
Jimmy Swain with the hit on the quarterback. So 3rd down and goal from the 5-yard line. Going for the fade. Incomplete and no flags. So as the field goal team comes on,
Malik Levitt there tries to get his eyes back to the ball, gets away with something there. Not enough contact.
And the 22-yard chip shot is good. Beautiful Memorial Stadium where they had their first game on November 24th, 1923. And still playing ball here today. The students still enjoying it. And I'll tell you what, my first visit here, to cut a stadium into the side of a hill like this on the top of Berkeley overlooking San Francisco Bay, you couldn't put a price on real estate like this now.
Pretty cool, but I want to let you know I was not there at that game.
Yeah. Another short kick and another fair catch, and Oregon will start at its 28-yard line. Coordinator Rhett Lashley will be calling the plays in that one. Look forward to Tess and Todd Blackledge and Holly Rowe on that one tomorrow night. Here's Royce Freeman. First time we've seen him for a while carrying the ball for the Ducks.
It's hard. It's not easy for guys who always called plays to turn it over to somebody else, but it's paying dividends right now for Auburn.
Nice play off of the tackle by Devontae Wilson. Off of the block, rather, to make the tackle. The 5th-year senior from Corona on the journey of his own. It's been documented well this year. Originally signed with USC, got injured, ended up going to Riverside Community College, wanted to pursue his dream of playing top-level college ball, wound up here at Cal, and has had a terrific career here for the Golden Bears. Have a 1st down there for Oregon to keep the chains moving on a Herbert pass. And down on the turf is Charles Nelson, the receiver.
He hasn't been totally healthy for a couple weeks, and the coaches have talked about that, but he's such a warrior and a competitor. That's why he's not as involved in special teams right now. They want to save him for offense because he's one of the most versatile and dangerous weapons that they have. That's a shame for him to get hurt if it's anything serious.
Daytona Beach, Florida.
Yeah, that did not look good.
Well, he is walking off, but I'm sure that was a jolt to the system, and hopefully nothing more.
He's one of their best athletes, fastest, strongest, quickest. I mean, he's just an excellent football player.
Did pick up the 1st down. Now on the field as play continues. Freeman running parallel to the line of scrimmage and can't get the cut up field. A year ago against Cal, he carried the ball 29 times for 180 yards. He's carried it 9 times in this one tonight and not gotten very much. Herbert's going to tuck and run. Slide down a couple yards short of the 1st down, and he had maybe a little more room to go.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to teach somebody who hasn't done it a lot. He probably never slid in high school. But when you go into that slide, the ball's immediately dead too, so you can get into the slide yardage.
Yeah. So 3rd and 3. Nothing doing for Freeman.
Not going to happen.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Wheeler boots it away. Wharton again will signal fair catch and make it at the 20-yard line on Penn State.
JT's back, and I hear there's another Bosa in town.
Trey Watson with a short gain on 1st down for Cal.
Maybe one of the most talented teams in the nation. But I think we're going to find out something about Alabama this week. They're really highly favored over Texas A&M. I thought it.
Oh, a pick 6, or at least a pick went right through the hands of Justin Hollins.
Can they play run defense? That's the big question I have.
And can they play with coolness and calmness in Tuscaloosa? Dump it off to Muhammad underneath with a herd of blue jerseys out in front of him. He's very close to the 1st down.
Urban Meyer's record is something unbelievable. I don't even know what it is.
First charge timeout. Cal.
Cal getting ready to go for it on 4th down, and they'll take
30-second timeout.
And Davis Webb's pooch punt will sail sadly out of bounds, and Oregon will have plus field position to start this possession. And the Ducks start at the Cal 40-yard line. Herbert under pressure. Nice. Still going out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
That's the athleticism and the speed for a guy 6'5", 6'6", that the Oregon coaches are so excited about, and they want him to do more of this. Just improvise and create. He may not know where to go with the ball all the time, but he can run it.
Freeman. 2 blue shirts right there waiting for him in the hole. Herbert's going to throw to Monk, the tight end. Can he get the goal line? Touchdown Ducks. Well, the 10-yard punt from Davis Webb and the plus field position turned into some points by the Oregon offense.
Oregon is still a quick strike offense. We've talked about this, but they certainly needed this. They need to score just about on every opportunity.
The ruling on the field is the runner crossed the plate at the goal line prior to the knee hitting the ground. The ruling's a touchdown. That play is under review.
At that angle, we really can't see where the ball is when his knee touches down, but I do believe it looks as if this will be a little bit better look right here. There's the, that's.
Yeah, you'd have to have a camera straight down the goal line to see that one.
I think it's too close to call in terms of overruling anything. It was called a touchdown on the field right, so.
See, from that angle where the camera's outside the goal line, it looks like the ball's there first. So that might be one of those that indisputable video evidence might not exist. See, because you can't tell where the ball is there in relation to the plane of the goal line.
He was fortunate to control that ball with just one hand on it like that. Those are the things that scare you as a coach, because if that fumble goes out of the end zone.
After review, it was determined the runner's knee hit the ground prior to the ball crossing the goal line. The ball will be spotted at the half-yard line on the far hash mark. 1st and goal. The clock will start on my whistle.
He's got it, and he's stacked up. Herbert the throw, back of the end zone, touchdown. Evan Bayless.
They like those tight ends, as we talked about in the pass game. They're great receivers. They've got range, and obviously Justin Herbert very comfortable throwing on the run.
So a point after try to try and get it down to a 13-point gap. Well, and obviously Freeman is not the back that we saw in their second game of the year against Virginia. You know, he's just doesn't look the same tonight.
Yeah, and he's still a good decoy, though, to affect the defense. Nice throw on the run. Nice catch with a rangy receiver going down the field.
He was a good decoy there.
That's a gauntlet of really good football teams. And although Cal has proven they can score on anybody and they can play defense. When they stopped Utah, kept them out of the end zone at the end of the game, I was really impressed with that effort by their defense.
Trey Watson out to the 20-yard line. Webb almost had that ball knocked out of his hands. TJ Daniel was in there for Oregon. 91.
It was a nice job in coverage. The underneath defenders jumped some of the crossing routes, didn't allow him anywhere to go with the ball.
First sack of the game for the Ducks, first sack of the season for Daniel. The run game comes near side.
Davis Webb couldn't connect with him.
First sideline warning, Oregon bench.
All right, people getting a little excited.
Well, the coaches are probably trying to get out on the field. Any positive thing that you can do, the positive energy, hopefully you're passing it on to your team. The team is passing it on to each other.
So fourth down, the Cal punt unit comes on for a rare appearance on this evening. And flags.
False start. Offense, number 5. 5-yard penalty. Fourth down.
Guy with the good hands is not supposed to drop it.
Catches it on the run at the 50. Gets through a couple. Flag comes in from behind. Being argued.
Yeah, I think it happened right around the 45.
During the return, illegal block in the back. 17 of the return team. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. First down. Timeout on the field.
We can see right there that this is where it happened. Right in the back.
Yeah.
Tough because it's going to eliminate some of the good field position that Oregon earned.
California Memorial Stadium in Berkeley.
Is there a prettier place to be stuck in traffic?
Charles Nelson back from the locker room on the field as the Oregon offense takes over. There's Tony Brooks-James, who's been one of the big producers for the Ducks tonight. And he has him down inside the 25-yard line. Brooks-James going the other way, just tripped up and dropped. On 4, 2nd and 6. Throw, there's Nelson back in the game. Right at the first down marker before he's dropped. But they've got the first down at the 14-yard line. Brooks-James has the ball and no place to go. Center of that Cal defense tightened up that time. Player from each side down after that collision. Brooks-James.
Timeout for injuries to both teams.
And that looks like Tony McCary, who's down for Cal, and it is. Oregon coaches told us last night that all of their tailbacks were banged up in one way or the other, as you'd expect at this time of the year.
Yeah, everybody is. But as I said before, coming off a bye week, you're the healthiest you're going to be for the rest of the season. You're probably going to play, 5 or 6 games straight through each weekend.
So second down and 8. And Freeman in the game. And a touchdown for Oregon in the end zone. Wide open, uncovered. That was the tight end, Johnny Munt. And things suddenly get a whole lot more interesting here in Berkeley.
Yeah, nice execution right there on the play, and good patience by Justin Herbert. Let it develop.
And a 6-point ball game.
Little screen to Tony Brooks-James. Gets a lot of yardage. Helps the Ducks offset that penalty they had earlier on the punt return. He's down inside the 25-yard line. And watch right here. Watch this guy sneak out through here. Looks like a running play. He sneaks right through the play fake. Holds the defense. They're coming up, reacting to the run. Nobody covers the receiver in the backfield.
So 5 plays cover 57 yards in a minute 13. It's kick taken by Trey Watson. Hot. All of a sudden, there's a little fire inside those white jerseys.
Offside, kicking team number 54. 5-yard penalty and re-kick.
How do you have an offside on a kickoff?
Well, you're trying to get down there, but these are the type of things that have dogged the Ducks all season long. Too many penalties.
Again, the most penalized team by yards per game in the Pac-12.
You can see right there, those guys are across the line, and you can actually be across the line. You can't have your foot on the ground before the ball is kicked. That's an unbelievable kick right there.
Wow. Put some muscle in that one.
And I tell you, even kickers get excited sometimes. See?
And the Oregon defense stiffen again. Hand off to Watson. Great first down yardage for the Bears.
Talked about the fact that they'd like to run the ball. Sonny Dykes said he'd like to run it 70% of the time. He's doing a great job. His team is doing a great job tonight exploiting their opportunities in the ground game. 2 deep look now. This is where the guys in the flats have a problem helping with the run and also covering the second receiver inside.
Here's the run. Nicely played at the bottom of the stack. Henry Mondew played off his block and got a wrap on the runner. They'll run it again into the center of the stack and not get very much, and it'll set up 3rd down and long for Cal. 8 for 17 on 3rd downs tonight for Cal. Webb, ball tipped, and a penalty flag comes in.
Holding. Offense number 62. Penalty decline. 4th down.
Yep. Penalty flags again. Whistles.
Disconcerting defense. Delay a game. 5-yard penalty number 24. Be 4th down.
If you're up at the line and you're barking out signals, trying to throw the offense off or that kind of thing, they're all in tight. Nothing. They stopped them.
They're going to try to go power for power. You're right. Very tight splits, but nice job of Oregon getting across and penetration there. They didn't allow themselves to be pushed back. Good pad level up front by the Oregon Ducks that time.
Thinking that was Khalil Oliver, 26, who got in there.
And the opportunity for Oregon to seize the lead for the first time in this game.
Justin Herbert with time, with nowhere to go. He'll run for the sideline. 1. 2nd and 9. Just a little too far out in front of Jaylen Brown, though it did bounce off his hands. Quarterback's going to keep it. It's going to come up a couple short.
Cal up there with 7-man in the box.
Throws it to Brooks James. 1st down, Oregon. And we start the 4th with the Ducks in possession of the ball at the Cal 30-yard line, trailing by 6. Their freshman quarterback, Justin Herbert, 15 of 25, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 167 yards passing. Royce Freeman going nowhere on that one. Freeman will make a nice block to protect the quarterback. It'll be a little too far out of bounds. Tony Brooks James has been the go-to guy for the Ducks tonight. Flag comes in from the side.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 7. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
This is the thing that Art Kaufman, there it is right there, guys. You can see it right in the middle. Grab the face mask. But that's unfortunate because Cal would have been off the field.
8 scoring drives against them recently. 6 were continued by penalties. Will this be another one? Herbert with the ball, throwing for the end zone. Too strong. 2nd down and 10 from the 15. Brooks James looking for the outside. He's got the corner. Out of bounds. Got a Cal player down at about the 15-yard line. Brooks James stopped short, but he's all the way down to the 1. 93 yards on the ground, 12 carries. He's already got 1 touchdown. That's going to come back.
False start. 78 offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Herbert throws, tipped into the air, and it hits the ground. Dangerous moment there. Herbert throws. Nelson. Touchdown, Oregon.
Nice job by the young quarterback, surveying the field, finding his open receiver. Great job by Charles Nelson, taken off the field, into the locker room, comes back, and scores the go-ahead touchdown. controlled it.
The ruling on the field of the catch in the end zone for a touchdown is under further review.
Okay. There's the throw. Very definitive throw. Hits him right in the stomach. We're not going to see it from this angle, but it doesn't look like his arms were at the ground. This should be a good angle right here. Ball is up. Looks as his arm. Part of the thing is he's got some stripes on his arm, the white bands that look like the striping on the ball. I think that's his arm that somebody may have thought hit the ground. He's got it, I think, and that's a touchdown.
Charles Nelson from Daytona Beach, Florida, on the receiving end of the pass.
The ruling on the field of the touchdown is confirmed.
And Aiden Schneider gives the Ducks their first lead of the game. 11 plays, 44 yards. I feel safe in saying that Mom or Dad was a little crafty there, that they don't sell those in the souvenir shop that way.
I think that must be a mixed marriage. What do you think?
And a tense one at this point in the game, too.
Well, this game is not over by a long shot. I'll tell you what. Watch out with these offenses on the field.
Trey Watson's got the ball for Cal. They dropped just outside the 20-yard line. All right, Cal offense has got to respond. That's Singleton. Webb throws. And a nice cushion and making a couple of players miss. That's Bug Rivera. Ducks it off to Watson. He's got a little space. Be out almost to midfield before he's knocked down. Trey Watson continuing to have a big night for Cal. 147 yards of total offense for Trey Watson in this one. And counting.
When you have players that will challenge each other in a positive manner, that's the best thing you can have as a coach.
Keep it on the ground with Watson. And keep moving the chains all the way down to the 30-yard line is Trey Watson, the junior from Corona, California. Got an Oregon player down. That is Khalil Oliver. That he is up and headed off to the sideline. Does Cal. Watson wrapped up there by Trey Dye. That throws complete. Patrick Warstow. Watson, wow, big crack in that hole.
Holding. Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty. Replay the down.
Aaron Cochran, the redshirt junior left tackle.
Oregon came with pressure on that.
The penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul beyond the line. First down.
They dump it off on the inside screen for Wharton, who gets quickly tripped up. Wide open is Wharton. Near side, chased out of bounds at the 14-yard line, still shy of what they need. Oregon showing a little pressure. Webb patient enough to wait it out.
I think they're coming because the safety coming down is what you really see. The linebacker's showing you, but the safety's dropped down too.
From the near side and throwing a ball to a receiver, looking to make a catch, and a touchdown it is! What a throw and what a catch! Watson. How about that, Cochran, the tackle split out wide.
I wouldn't cover him.
Little deception, wide open. Would you cover him?
I would try to cover him. You don't need to cover number 75 anyway.
What a throw, what a catch from Webb. Trey Watson gets it, and then the two-point try is good. With our guys.
Would you like to do that sometime?
Yeah, I would, but of course.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just
when
the
you
guy.
retired a long time.
I'm just the guy. Tony Brooks James. Ball's out, but it rolls out of bounds before possession changed. I thought it rolled out of bounds. Let's see. They're talking about it. Did the ball contact the ground out of bounds, or any player in contact with the ground out of bounds?
That's the bounce of the ball, and I think we're going to have to take a look and see. It definitely came out. There was no question about that. It looked as if it was going to go out of bounds. Then it had to maybe touch somebody. It can't touch somebody on the Cal sidelines.
So they'll talk about it.
The ruling on the field is the runner fumbled the ball forward and it went out of bounds. The ball is returned to the fumbling spot. During the return, holding number 15 of the receiving team. That penalty will be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
So even when Oregon gets some luck on the bounce of the ball, they shoot themselves in the foot with a hold. There's the hold right there, 15. You can see it hanging on. There's the ball, and the ball.
Yeah, it's out of bounds. Yeah. Can he lead the Ducks back downfield again? This will be Freeman. He just has not had anything going tonight as we check downstairs with Chris.
Alan, that scoring drive was not just big for momentum for Cal, but also for their defense. After those several 3-and-outs, they were winded, having trouble breathing, so they look ready to go. And on top of that, Mark Helfrich just trying to get his team ramped up and paid with some extra pace.
All right, Chris. Something to keep an eye on as the game goes. Herbert throws, complete, near side, Charles Nelson.
Penetration. My gosh. As he took the handoff, and I don't know if that was the Reed guy, but the reality is he's in the backfield before the running back even gets the football. Let's take a look here. Yeah, that's just he did a great job of making a guy miss. Used a swim technique, went right over the top. Duck linemen got to do a better job of making sure that you don't get that type of penetration.
Gonna throw. We'll have it complete out on the far side of the tight end, Johnny Munt, but not a great gain, and set up third down. Pressure. Dumps it off on the screen. And Griffin's got a lot of yardage, but penalty flags come in.
Personal foul, chop block. 55 and 70 on the offense. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay third down.
For 124 yards.
You look right about here. Watch right in here. The high-low, and that's exactly textbook of what you cannot do.
So now talk about third and forever. Got time. Lets it go deep. Almost pulled in, and another flag down on the field. Darren Carrington literally spun in a 360 trying to get back to that ball.
And he didn't need to. One of the things you tell your receivers is continue to run. Don't turn back to the ball because you can't run backwards.
Defense number 17. 10-yard penalty by rule. Automatic first down.
Oh, huge break for Oregon. Luke Rubenzer gets ticketed. Back at their 27-yard line are the Ducks. And the Cal defense facing the challenge again of finding a way to get off the field. Taj Griffin. It's a good first down gain. Griffin is out. Tony Brooks-James is in. Ball into the hands of Pharaoh Brown. Popped at the marker. Careful. And there it is. Marleshon Franklin. I'm sorry, but you just can't do that.
No, you're absolutely right.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 18. 15-yard penalty results in an automatic first down.
You hit him, you tackled him, you did a nice job knocking him down, then you pushed him back into the ground and stood over him. And I'm sorry, I disagree with the home fans there. You just can't do that. And then you kicked him in the head.
Well,
I'm sure that wasn't intentional. So another penalty moves the ball out to the 50-yard line. Brooks-James squirts through a hole. Big gain on first down. Give him 7. I can't disagree with any bit of that. It's patient running there from Brooks-James. They were down a bunch earlier, 20 points. Herbert moves the pocket, throws. Carrington tried to come back for the ball. 2 Cal defenders there.
Slightly underthrown. Justin Herbert could have kept running on this play, but he chose to put the ball up. You see a double move by Carrington right there. Has his man beat, has both the safety beat. Ball's underthrown slightly. Comes back, and could have been an interference call there again, but probably a good no call.
Here's Freeman. Penalty flag comes in.
Holding. Offense number 56. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Just a speed cut. Watch him right here. Let's take a look and see how this play. He actually thought the play was going inside. right there. He just hangs on a little bit too long. Whereas Freeman chose to go outside. He thought he'd try to help him.
So now the penalty sets the Duck offense back. In and out of the hands and a little bit behind Charles Nelson. I understand the back shoulder throw, but that one just a little bit.
This might be decided by who doesn't get the penalty on this play.
Yeah, no kidding. Timeout. Cal here. Cal leading by 7. 5.5 to go, fourth quarter. Oregon with a big 3rd and long. Justin Herbert throws deep downfield. Receiver is stumbling. Carrington, and it's incomplete. 4th down. Luke Rubenzer was the defender there.
He's beaten pretty badly. He does reach out and push. That could have been called, but has been pretty much overlooked tonight.
Pressure on the kick. Fair catch signaled for. He'll make it at the 5. So Cal leading by 7. Offense on the field. 5:20 to go. Calfani Muhammad with some running room outside. First down, as you just saw, with 116 yards on the ground. That's Morris leading the way. Webb's going to pull it and throw. Knocked away.
Just a 4-man pass rush for Oregon.
Webb with a wide open receiver, and it was over the top. Well, his team was cooking earlier in the game, but things have slowed down for him since then. Wow, dangerous catch by Carrington, and the flag comes in.
Kick catch interference, kicking team. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Justin Herbert, can the true freshman quarterback be the hero for the Ducks? His team down by 7, inside of 4 to go. He's going to carry the ball here with open turf in front. Across midfield and down to the 42-yard line before Luke Rubenzer brought him down. Got a throw there, got a receiver open, but it was knocked away. Farrell Brown had it, but Marlon Franklin took it away. Scott Nelson, who's got turf ahead of him. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon.
1 or 2.
Tied at 42. Charles Nelson with the touchdown for Oregon.
Just take a look now. This is why he came off the training table to come back on the field. This is why he's so dangerous. One step, and he can leave everybody behind. Nice job of Herbert. Accurate pass. Look, his eyes away from that. Looks away from that side to freeze the safety. Lets Nelson catch the ball underneath him. He does the rest.
So 56 yards in 3 plays and 36 seconds off the game clock.
Yeah, it's not textbook how you close out a game, but if you want to score and you want to score quickly, watch these two teams.
Oh, Duck doing a lot of push-ups now. Or if they want it kept in the field of play. Will be in the field of play. It'll be Trey Watson. Oh, it's got on edge. Nice shoestring tackle by Jawan Williams to save what could have been a disastrous play for Oregon. Starting on its own 17.5-yard line. Davis Webb's going to hand off. Calfani Muhammad. Beautiful 10-yard run on first down. In the film room on Monday, won't it?
That's exactly right. The offensive line will block harder for you after that.
Muhammad again. Good comeback tackle there. And that is Rex Manu. Coach, we started this game talking about Oregon being winless in the Pac-12, getting blown out by Washington in their last game, having the bye week. How would the team respond? First 4-game losing streak in a decade, and their first quarter and really first half defensively was not a good look for the Ducks, but something changed at halftime, and they've come back in this second half.
I think they realized that if they were going to win, they had to play better. It's very simple. You can talk about it all you want, but the players on the field make those decisions. They force themselves to not just give the effort, but to finally find the execution that results in a potential victory. Nobody's won this game yet. They're still in it. Both of these teams, I'm interested to see how these defenses respond to being in this situation as much as the quarterbacks.
Yeah, can't tell you if they're going to win it, but I would think.
But they have a chance to, which is different from what we saw at halftime.
Exactly. I would think if you're walking away from this as an Oregon fan, you have to be pleased with the response and the effort that you've seen.
Yeah, you have to feel better about the grit and the heart of this team.
And if you're a Cal fan, you're trying to stay undefeated on your home field, and you got a chance. You've got the ball and a wide open receiver on the far side. Bug Rivera will be out close to midfield, and a first down for the Golden Bears.
Receiver, and they're going to do that a lot, so you got to be prepared for that. Davis Webb, very crafty, knows where to go with the ball.
Cal with just the one timeout left after using a couple earlier. Webb's going to dump the screen into the middle, and it'll be Muhammad. Short gain as he's pursued to the near sideline. Ugo Amadi will get credit with the stop.
I think he's 11 out of 12 or something like that this year.
He is 11 out of 12, including hitting one earlier tonight. Good pursuit laterally by the Oregon defense as Muhammad tried to turn it upfield.
3 wideouts for Cal.
And a whistle.
Coach
and a timeout from the near side.
First timeout, Oregon.
He didn't like that look. He decided he wanted to talk it over before they saw the.
Davis Webb, the quarterback, with time, dumps it off. Got a receiver wide open, and a first down. Webb with all kinds of time finds a wide open Trey Watson.
I don't know if they can survive this because Davis Webb has the capability to pick you apart.
Time running down, coming up on a half minute to go. Need to get the ball down to the 31 to match the distance for what would be the career long for Matt Anderson. Webb throws outside, complete. Running for the sideline is Vic Wharton, and he's down to the 30-yard line. Hand it to Watson, and he's got some room. Inside the 25 to the 23, and the clock runs 15 seconds to go. Will Sonny Dykes call the timeout here and kick the field goal now? The answer appears to be yes.
And this play is going to come down to one game. One play of the game, one kick.
Anderson does have a game-winning field goal in his career. He kicked one at Arizona State last November. So he's been in the situation before.
I used to coach the kickers at Oregon and at Chico State, and I used to try to go out and tell them a joke. And they got tired of hearing my jokes, so they said, "Coach, don't do it. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Relax." I said, well, "I'll relax if you relax." So we're okay.
Anderson, the redshirt junior from Danville, California, on the Lou Groza Award watch list this season for the top kicker in college football. And a chance to be the hero here for the Golden Bears. And a timeout from Oregon. Matt Anderson for the win for Cal. Another whistle. Another timeout, Oregon.
Third and final timeout, Oregon. 30 seconds in length.
Good call, Coach Elfridge.
He missed it. Wide left. Overtime in Berkeley.
Feel bad for that young man because, like I said, I've coached kickers and my sons have played that position. And as you said, a lot of pressure, a lot of glory when you make it, a lot of angst when you don't. Just push that a little bit left.
Just a little too much. Those officials stand right under the goalposts and look straight up. And it just drifted. And so Oregon gets a second chance.
Him up because in the overtime situation, as you know, you get a choice of the ball or starting on defense or whatever.
Period. Each team is entitled to one timeout during the overtime period. That's one possession for each team. Okay? The winner of the coin toss will have the option to play offense or defense or decide which end of the field to play. The loser of the coin toss will have that other option. Okay? If the score is tied after one overtime period where each team has the ball, then the team who loses the toss will have the same option. Okay? Oregon's going to make the call. That's heads, that's tails. That's heads. What's your call? Tails is called. It's heads. Cal would like to play defense. Which goal do you want to play at? Which way do you want to play? You're going to defend here? Okay. Turn around. Turn around. Cal won the toss and elected to play defense. Oregon's ball, first down at the 25.
They've had the coin toss already. Cal has chosen to defend. Each team gets one possession from the 25-yard line. And after the second overtime, you got to go for two. Starting in the third, Justin Herbert and the Duck offense from the 25. Tony Brooks-James has 5. Herbert with time, throws, has a receiver into the end zone. Jaylen Brown.
They like Jaylen Brown a lot. He doesn't have the greatest speed, but he's got great hands and great body agility.
So now, these point after kicks in an overtime become very critical also. Not like they aren't all game long, but particularly in an overtime, they become pressure filled. Aiden Schneider.
You're absolutely right, and all of us assume that the kicker's going to make it.
He's 18 for 18 this season coming into tonight. And has made the ball tonight.
Watch the route right here. Gets a clearing route from Nelson, then comes underneath. Great focus on the ball. Ball a little bit on his back shoulder, but watch Herbert's eyes now. Looks off the safety. See him look to the other side of the field, come back to his intended receiver, puts it on him. Nice execution for the young freshman.
Their last game out, I should say, a week and a half ago. Kalfani Muhammad will have great yardage and a first down for the Golden Bears. That is A.J. Hotchkiss.
And despite the bye week, this is back-to-back overtime games for Cal.
Yes.
Which does stress your body and stress your team.
Brendan Schooler, 43, the single safety back there. Center of the field for Oregon. Swing it out near side. Bug Rivera at the 5, at the 4, at the 3. Muhammad trying to get outside. He'll get stopped. That's Troy Dye.
He is a great playmaker. He's just a true freshman. There's obviously no safeties back. That's an 11-man front for Oregon.
Whistles and a timeout, Oregon. Second and goal from the 1. Muhammad didn't get there. Down at about the 1-foot-yard line. Hand it off. Nope, Webb pulls it into the end zone. Touchdown, Cal.
Because he doesn't usually carry it, but he's done 3 or 4 of those tonight that resulted in either first downs or touchdowns.
Matt Anderson ties the game.
They've done a nice job running the football tonight, and it's been their MO in this overtime period.
Trey Watson will be the running back next to Davis Webb this time. He will have the ball. They'll have 6 or 7 before Troy Dye wrestles him down.
Smart play to pull it out.
The ball bounced off the kick returner out of the end zone into his hands. Here's Webb going to look to throw. He's going to run out of bounds.
They may not go for it. They might kick a field goal. I think they'll go for it.
Webb throws. Third down. Now first down for Vic Morton. Pushed out of bounds inside the 5. Webb on the option play is in there. J.D. Hennett is in there. 85. And Watson couldn't get to the edge. Knocked back, but still on his feet. Down to about the 1. There is a flag on the field. That's Drayton Carlberg.
Illegal formation. Offense. 5 men in the back. Penalty. Replay second down.
Let's see.
Hard to tell from that angle.
Yeah.
what or who was misaligned.
But how did he keep his feet there?
Yeah, well, one thing, you've got to wrap up on a tackle. You can't just push him back. You got to take him to the ground.
Ooh. Karlberg went to jump up over a cut block, and it looked like his cleat got caught in the turf just for a second. To the 7-yard line for Cal. And they're going to back it up 5 more.
False start. Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Just watch him right here. He's right on the end. See if he just moves slightly. Just little twitch there. Just trying to get that jump on that edge pass rusher.
Throw it to Stovall. They get down to the 5-yard line. And a flag is down on the field at the 10.
Offense number 11. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Second down.
I have to say, this is an extraordinary number of penalties. I doubt it's any kind of record, but it's been a lot. So 2nd and goal now from the 20-yard line. Webb throws near side. How did Demetrius Robertson catch that? Had Ugo Amadi all over him and managed to fit it in.
Nice throw, though. This is great timing. Look at this throw, leading him right before the break. Tap the feet down inbounds. Young receiver making great plays in crunch time.
Webb throws across his body off the hands of Stovall and incomplete, and it's 4th down. They had a chance to win it at the end of regulation, a 41-yarder with 4 seconds to go after 2 timeouts by Oregon to freeze the kicker. He kicked one at one of the timeouts that was good, but Matt Anderson slid the one and counted just wide to the left. And so now we come to the 2nd overtime, and he has this one up and through from 28 yards. And so now the Oregon defense held Cal to a field goal, and the offense has a chance to win the game by getting into the end zone. So Justin Herbert, the freshman quarterback for the Ducks, has his team lined up at the 25-yard line. They've got to get at least 3 to keep the game going. They can win it with 6. Herbert's going to run. Not for much. Herbert throws, intercepted! The game is over! Cal wins with the interception! Jordan Kunashik gets the interception for Cal off of Justin Herbert that seals the win for the Golden Bears.
Right here, right in the center of the screen. Watch what he does. Justin sort of stares this down. He looks off to one side, and he comes back, and you see Jordan coming back across, falls right in, taps it to himself. This is the tip drill that you practice every day for the defense, only he does it to himself, not from another player, and then has the understanding to get down. Don't let him strip the ball from me. This is the game. Great hands. Great job. One more look. Here's looking away. Justin doing a nice job. Herbert coming back there, but didn't see the underneath backer slip in front of the ball.
So Jordan Kunashik, a redshirt sophomore from Roseville, California, who had no Division I offers. The only turnover of the game in the 2nd overtime. And for the young quarterback at Oregon, it'll be something very difficult to think about on the plane ride home.
And there'll be better days ahead. He acquitted himself very well tonight, but that's a tough one. That's a lesson to learn.
So Oregon remains winless in conference play, though answered some questions by their play tonight. Cal remains undefeated and gets their 4th win as they pursue bowl eligibility. Cal against USC from Los Angeles next Thursday night on ESPN. What a game in double overtime at Berkeley. Final score, Cal 52, Oregon 49. For Mike Bellotti, Chris Budden, and our entire ESPN college football crew, Alan Bestwick saying good night or good morning and sending you to SportsCenter.